Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube segment, I'm going to be talking about, well, we can consider it a controversial subject in marijuana and whether it should be legal or not legalized. Now, when I look at this drug, this is something that I think the cons outweigh the pros in this. I know there's a number of people that do believe this should be legalized statewide. Now, the best of my knowledge, there are 4 states currently that do have this legal as far as recreational use goes, and Washington and Colorado are 2 of them. Now, people have to realize that there are a lot of negative effects of this drug, and some people can control certain things, I guess you could say, from taking this, and as far as their mood and temperament goes, but others can't. Now, let me talk about some reasons why I don't believe that this should be legal, and I am against it being legal in the 4 states that they are legal in. Now, some adverse effects can include, well, paranoia is one, diminished short-term memory, the eyes can become very red. This is something that is a recreational drug that's made, as most of you know, from the cannabis plant. And there are some other reasons as well where I see that it's really more adverse than it is positive. Now, it can also make someone belligerent, I believe, and recalcitrant. I knew somebody that did this, unfortunately, I believe fairly religiously, and he often became, I guess we could say, recalcitrant. He became really, made him, I would say, very, I don't know if we want to say negative, surly maybe, and made him somewhat abrasive, and it took him out of his regular disposition. You could see strong vacillation with mood and temperament from taking this. Unfortunately, with some people that can't maybe control the adverse effects as much as maybe somebody else can. Now, some people like this because it makes them have this great feeling of elation and puts them in a euphoric state and makes them feel real ecstatic and makes them feel happy. There's some people that believe that this can actually accelerate their thinking process, and I don't really see anything that really can show this strongly. There may be some people that really believe this, and in some cases it may be true. I don't really know that 100% one way or the other, but there's also that this could lead to psychiatric problems. Somebody that excessively uses this can experience protracted psychiatric problems, actually, and that's another negative that is connected with this. In addition to that, people can experience diminished blood pressure, escalation in heart rate. They can have, there is a heightened risk of schizophrenia developing. Now, there's some people that will look at the pros on this and they'll say, well, it's not as harmful or detrimental as opposed to cocaine or heroin. It's not as strong as a lot of the other recreational drugs. But I'll tell you one thing. I'm not one to use because it's enough. It is harmful enough in my eyes, which I won't let become strongly reddened by the use of it, because I won't use marijuana. Anyway, also, excessive use of this before the age of 25 could diminish the IQ. Now, do you really want young people using this with a chance that their intellect is deteriorated, their IQ, which is intelligence quotient? Is it really worth making this legal in any more states? There was an online blog I saw, I believe it was on CNN. It was dated, I think, July 30th, 2014. And the nation is almost divided on the use of this. It was like 55% were in favor, and 44% not. I don't know what happened to the other 1%, if they were ambivalent or undecided, or how it came where they were missing that 1%. But anyway, that's what I recall and recollect from seeing that. And there's other reasons too that I don't believe this should be something that should go as far as recreational use. Now, motor vehicle accidents, I believe, can be increased due to excessive marijuana use. I believe it would be more prevalent among accidents could be more prevalent among people using this, as far as automobile accidents go, more prevalent among excessive use of marijuana. Sorry. And it's something where there's a lot of people make their contention that, okay, nobody's ever died from this, that there's never been a recorded death from an excessive use of this. But there's always a first time for everything, people. And remember, that's recorded. Coroners can make mistakes. They're not infallible or flawless. It wouldn't surprise me if there were some deaths that were attributed to this, and they just, for whatever reason, they might have, the reports on the death may have been erroneous, and perhaps they were wrong in some cases. We don't really know that. We can't really prove that one way or the other. Now, also, if you have pets in your house, especially from what I read in my research on dogs, now dogs can become more lackadaisical and lethargic if they happen to accidentally take marijuana that somebody just leaves around their home carelessly, and it could borderline on them becoming comatose and unconscious. When I say comatose, I don't mean necessarily coma, but they are in that it could render them very close on the threshold, at least, of being unconscious. So it could hurt your pets if you leave it around now, or potentially hurt them. Now, I look at this and I say, well, this could really have a lot of negative effects on others. We don't have to try experiments to see if something is going to hurt or not. We know certain things can hurt us. We don't have to step on a tack on the floor to know that it's going to hurt. It's going to cause a sharp pain. Now, for some people, maybe they feel this invincibility, or they feel impervious to any possible harm from this. Now, there may be some people that they feel they have some kind of immunity to this, that they could keep taking it and nothing really happens to them. Just because you don't feel something happening to you doesn't mean in the long run, years down the road, you're not going to suffer some kind of adverse health problems due to this. There's things that you can do in your life, even smoking. And smoking, obviously, as you know, just regular cigarettes can cause problems, health afflictions later on in your life. You might not feel something right away. You might feel that this is giving you, well, this euphoric, high, elated state. But in reality, I think in the long run, in many cases, this could actually be more detrimental to somebody than it is positive. I really can't, for me, my mind can't seem to grasp the 55% that think that this should be legal. I don't know, maybe to some people I'm being overly cynical and pessimistic, I don't know. I just don't, I feel that this is made, even the fact that it's illegal as far as recreational use in the majority of the United States, and the fact you have such strong use, even though it's illegal, what's going to happen if this becomes legal? I mean, what other problems are you going to have? I believe this can possibly make perhaps people, because you have the possibility with the vacillation and mood temperament, could it also make somebody perhaps a little bit more volatile? Is that possible maybe? Do you want to run the risk of having an escalation in crime due to this? I mean, really, I feel maybe people think, I wonder if these 55% in that poll, I wonder how many of them actually use this on a regular basis. I wonder if is this a real objective poll or not too. That's what I'm trying. I can't seem to grasp or fathom this poll and the results. I mean, it almost seems preposterous in my mind. That's just my own opinion on it. And I'm not condemning people that use this. People are going to make their own choices. You live and die with your decisions in life. That's all I can say. But the way I see it is this. Now, if we see more of this, and we see more states where this becomes legal, I think you're really opening up the door for more problems with people. I mean, that's just really how I see it. And the thing I want to close on is this. I think it is criminal to decriminalize marijuana, and that's just my opinion. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube segment for me talking about if marijuana should be legal or not as far as the recreational use goes. And until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.